Okay, today we're going to be looking at Mass Volume Practice 3-9, and we're going to do a file and a new part. And this part should be MMGS or metric, of course, is alloy steel. And we're going to open up our materials, and we're going to go to alloy steel and apply it. And then we're going to go in and do file, of course, save as, and this is part 3-9. Now that we have that done, we're going to be looking at this part. Now this part has, if you're looking at it, it has a features on both sides of on the front side basically and the back side of the part that are both cut out. So we want to do a mid-plane extrusion when we're doing this because we want to work from the center out so we can have both parts cut. So let's take a look at this, and by looking at it, I'm saying front plane is actually the best plane to work with. And we're going to start with our basic shape, and it's going to be a rectangle, and we're going to put the origin in that lower left hand corner. So I'm going to start with our rectangle, and I'm going to do our dimensioning, and its overall height of 50 and our overall length of 100, and that gives us our lovely piece. Now we want to extrude this piece, so we're going to go to features and extrude, and we know with this one we're doing a mid-plane extrusion, so in our end condition we want to make sure it says mid-plane, and the thickness of this piece is 60, so that's what we're going to extrude for that, and that gives us 60. You're going to notice that our front plane is now dead center of the piece, and our origin also, if we click, you'll notice is in the center on the back edge. Another thing you can do, these are called chevrons, and if you click, this will actually let you turn things on and turn things off so they can be visible or invisible, okay? And sometimes it works well to have that happen. Just wanted to show you something different. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do the first little cut in this piece. And to do this cut, we're going to do a second sketch, and we are going to do this on the left face of the Boss Extrude. So we're going to do a sketch, and we're going to choose the left face, which is basically there. And we're going to do this lovely little shape. And I right-clicked on my mouse, of course, to get up that piece. Now we want a smart dimension. And from this point to the edge, we need it to be 20. And we need from the top edge to the bottom of the triangle to be 10. Once we do that, we notice everything is fully defined and we're black. Now we're going to do a feature, and we're going to do an extrude cut. Now with this one here, and I'm going to push my wheel down and rotate so I can actually see which way the arrow's facing, which is correct. And we're going to extrude cut for 15 millimeters. Boom. And there we have this little notch that's been cut into the back. Now we're going to be working with our next piece, which is our third sketch, which we're actually going to work from the bottom of this piece. So I'm going to go back to my sketch tab, do a sketch, and I'm going to select bottom, and I'm going to click on the piece so it selects it. You'll notice our origin is showing up exactly where it needs to be. And now I'm going to cut another little teeny triangle in our piece. This one here is actually coming to the center of the piece. So you'll notice this is already defined because we're are coincident, which means we're in line. This line is in line and connected with the center or the origin of the piece. Now we want to have our smart dimension here of 10. And you'll notice that we have a fully defined triangle. And I can do my cut. Again, I'm pushing down the center wheel of the mouse and rotating the block so I can see how far, where it's going, so I can take a look at it. With this one here, our end deck condition for this one is blind also, and it's a depth of 20. And now we have that. And what I'm going to do is give us an isometric to look at. So now we see this back corner and this front corner. This part that we're going to be doing next, this sketch that we're doing next, gets a lot of people confused. So pay close attention. We're creating a sketch again. And with this one here, we're going to be selecting the front plane. Okay, did you hear what I just said? We're going to be selecting the front and then the front plane. This way we'll be drawing literally on the front plane. So when I come in and do my sketch, we're doing a, excuse me, a line that's coming from here and coming up. And we're giving a dimension from the end point to the edge of the piece of 30. And that's all we're doing. Now we're exiting the sketch. So now you have sketch 4 and you're going to see it here showing up. Now we want a new sketch. So we're creating, we don't want to, okay, we're going to exit the sketch. So because we don't want to show up, and you'll notice that when I turn it, it's in the center of the block. So now I want to do a new sketch. And now with the new sketch, we're going to select the top of the piece. And with this one, we're coming in with our line tool. And remember, I just clicked on the top. And we're actually drawing a line and creating this shape. Okay, you notice it all is connected. We're smart dimensioning from the edge to the edge of the cut for 25. And then we want from the top of the straight line, okay, to where it cuts off, we want this to be 30. Once we do that, we are fully defined. I'm going to rotate it again so now you can see it's fully defined. And now we're going to do a feature and we're going to do a cut. Now with this one here, this is where it gets interesting because we want to have this cut follow this sketch line that we drew. Okay, so I'm going to do a through all, and in this block I'm going to select here and I'm going to select the line that we drew from sketch 4. And it's showing up, line 1 at sketch 4. So that's the line that we drew on sketch 4. And you notice now that the angle has changed for this cutout. Okay? Basically what you did was gave a path for your cutting tool to follow so you would get this angled cut. And there you see the angled cut. Okay? And I'm going to do an isometric so you can see it isometrically. And there you go. Now, this point is when we're going to do our mirror, feature mirror, or mirror our features. And so we're going to select the mirror tool from the feature toolbar. And it says place, plane, face, or plane. With this one here, we're going to go around that front plane that we drew from. Sorry about the stuttering here, guys. So now all of a sudden, this one here was already selected. I want to select this one here. Okay. Everybody see that? Notice that those are showing up yellow. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the green check mark, and you'll notice that this now looks like the shape that you're supposed to have. If you've done it correctly, we're going to go to our evaluate and mass properties, and if you've done it correctly, you should be seeing the mass of 1799. I'm not right. I'm at 1799, and we should be at 1794. And where did I go wrong? I went wrong somewhere. Somewhere I'm off because Z should be at 0. So somewhere I've made a mistake. So what I have to do is I have to find out what I've done incorrectly to cause this issue to happen. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to start right-clicking, and I'm going to look at my pieces to make sure that I'm definitely in origin, and I definitely are 50 and 100. That looks fantastic. So I'm going to exit this, and I'm going to go to my second one, and I'm going to look at what I did here, and I'm going to view to normal, and I'm looking, and that should be 20 and 10. So that's actually correct. Everything looks good. I'm going to go to this second one this one here that I did, and I'm going to view to normal, and I'm going to look, and it's going to be at 10, and it goes to the center point, which it's showing that I'm doing. So that looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to exit, and I'm going to look at this one that I drew, and this one here, we just drew the line. Now that, I think, is where I made my mistake. 9, 4, and that's supposed to be at 30 with the point there, which it is. 5 and 30. Everything looks just right. So that leads me to believe something I've done. Something's not right here. There it is. Ah, I forgot to mirror a feature. Amazing. Okay, so you just kind of watch Miss Hamilton kind of plot and figure out what she did wrong. So sometimes we, have to go back and look at everything to make sure that we've got everything correct. And it's not always the easiest thing to do because sometimes it just won't come out that way and you're looking and saying, gosh, I know I've done everything correct. I swear I've done everything correct, and then you can't find it. So that's one of the things that you have to really think about before you jump to the conclusion that it's done wrong. And with me, it was not mirroring this one little feature here. Now we're correct. So that's a great learning moment for all of us. And we're going to save our part. And that ends this